Good morning. I just got to work and it's time to do some makeup before I get into my classroom. So I thought I would take you through a day in my life as a teacher, specifically a home ec teacher who is now getting into their sewing unit. We do the bare minimum here. So today we are still working. We just started our fashion unit or sewing unit, whatever you want to call it. And so earlier this week, I taught the students how to draw croquis, so which are fashion illustrations. And it's the only time we'll really sketch anything until the end of the semester when I give them a recyclable fashion project and they have to sketch out either using a denim pair of pants or a button-up shirt, and they'll sketch a new creation. So they'll come back to those croquis to do their inspiration sketch. But until then, we just kind of like dive into sewing, and we start with hand sewing, and then we transition to machine sewing, and then we do about 3 different machine sewing. So a tote bag, pajama shorts, and an apron. And then we transition to that recyclable fashion piece before having a fashion show at the end of the semester where all their parents come. And yeah, it's our first one that I've had this event at this school site. So it should be interesting. It won't happen for a few more months, but we're prepping for that. So the plan today is to film tutorial. I'm still severely white from winter. Look at how it doesn't match. And it's because I'm running out of my winter shade and I had to put on my summer shade. So I have to buy more of my winter shade. That's a tomorrow problem. So yeah, I will film. I will film tutorials today. I've already filmed 2 for our hand sewing projects, and I'm now starting to film the tutorials for all of our machine sewing projects. And the reason why I want to film tutorials is because last year I had a lot of absences around the holiday seasons because people decided to take extended holidays. So nice. But that presented a problem for me because then students started getting at all different levels in the sewing project. And so it was really hard to like basically demonstrate the next step when not everybody was at that next step. So I film sew-alongs now for my classroom so that they can easily open up their Chromebooks and go to the step that they're at and follow along in there. And obviously I'll still live teach, but because so many kids get on different levels, I'm gonna see if this works. This is my remedy to the solution. So yeah, I'll walk you through how I filmed the tutorial. I'll show you, I've kind of like halfway filmed it, at least the first step of the tote bag. And so today during my prep period, I plan to like try to sew the whole thing up. I can get through the tote bag in like an hour, but I think when I slow it down to film the tutorial, it's going to probably take today and tomorrow, just because I'm filming every step, which slows down the process. But yeah, I'm excited to take you on the journey. I'll show you a little bit, give you a classroom tour. But yeah, that's my plan for today's video. It's a little bit different, but this is what I do outside of sewing at home and my YouTube channel. I actually am a middle school teacher. So it's time to head in the classroom. The makeup's done. It's as good as it's gonna get. And let's go start our day. It is 7:30 this morning. All right, welcome to my classroom. I thought it would be really fun to leave all of the sound in so you get a really authentic take on me setting up my classroom for the day. I had a substitute teacher the day before, so I'm just clearing off all of her writing so that my students can get back to their assignments that I have planned for them for the day. Like I mentioned earlier, we had begun drawing croquis, and I also made students do their color analysis so they could find out what color season they are: autumn, winter, spring, or summer. We only focused on 4. I know there's way more than that, but we just did 4 seasons. And so their croquis needs to reflect their color season. For this assignment and another assignment, I have them use magazines, and it is so sad how hard it is to find magazines now. So if you want to send any magazine donations my way, I'm asking right now for them. But yeah, seriously, if you have magazines and want to donate them, send me a message. Normally when I'm setting up my classroom, I'm usually blasting music, but for the purposes of not wanting to get banned on YouTube by playing any copyrighted music, I am just having you guys listen to the natural sounds of my classroom. So this is what the students are working on today. They're taking 3 colors from a magazine that is based on the color analysis of whether they're a fall, winter, autumn, or spring. And they design a garment, and then they glue all the tiny little magazine pieces onto a croquis to create a beautiful garment. So here's some past students' examples. A quick little tour before the bell rings. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kitchens in my classroom. I have not decorated these cabinets or above the cabinet. This is all from the last teacher's decor. I just ran out of time when I got this job really quickly this summer. But this is where my students cook, and we've got stoves and sinks and microwaves. Is it upgraded? Absolutely not, but that's okay. As you take a tour, I have an embroidery machine that I still need to figure out how to use. It's like the last thing on my mind. I lack storage on this side of my room, and so my solution to that storage is cubbing off each little section, and my students bring in shoe boxes to house their sewing projects. So this is one of the assignments we did last week. In preparation for all the pattern pieces that they're going to be cutting out, they'll house everything in their boxes, and that's how we keep my classroom clean. This side of the room is all me. My school mascot is a jaguar, so I did use AI to create little jaguars doing home ec things. Over here is all my sewing machines. So I only have 36 out right now because that's my largest number of class, but I have 40 total. And yeah, that's kind of a tour. This is my desk area. My TAs sit here. So these are my right-hand gals and girls. This is where I lecture. That's where I film all my tutorials. So yeah, and then I have a washer and dryer, and yeah, it's still a work in progress. So I'm all set up for the day. The classroom is ready to go. The bell's gonna ring in 1 minute. I'll check back in with you later today. You saw what we were doing. Won't post any videos of the students' work, but I'll check back in with you when it's time to film the tutorial for when we get back from spring break assignments. So one small flaw in this video is that I only had 1 camera, which was on my cell phone, and I needed to use my cell phone to film my tutorial. So I just uploaded some clips from what I filmed today as I was finishing the tote bag. Like I mentioned earlier, that pocket square had previously been dyed the day before using batik wax and then just regular tie-dye. And so it's a fun project because the students can express themselves on the pocket while using cheap fabric like muslin, because I have 172 students and I had to use only 50 yards of fabric. Class of the day just presented. They had to choose a fabric swatch and then make 2 colorways in it. And they just finished their presentation, so they did a pretty good job. This was my advanced class. Did it. We survived a day. I know you didn't get to see much of my teaching, but when I was filming my tutorial, I did finish sewing this little masterpiece, so I will take it off and show you guys. A little simple tote bag made of muslin, and then I did the whole dyeing process yesterday so that it would dry overnight, and then I removed the wax this morning. I don't want to show too close because it's literally not perfect. But this is a tote bag that they'll finish, and then we'll do pajama shorts, an apron, and then if we have time, we'll do a recyclable fashion project before our big first fashion show. I also finished hand sewing our donut, so we will start this when we get back from spring break. But it's time to pack up and go home. It's so funny because my students are always gifting me like the most random things. And so my student came to me today and he was like, Miss Carlin, yesterday was my brother's birthday party and my parents wanted to bring this for your daughter. So it's so cute when they think of you outside of school, but I'm like, my daughter is way too young to be eating like a lollipop, but this is pretty cute. It's like she loves cell phones, and the fact that it's bubbles, she'll be obsessed with this. So I was just like, thank you so much. So it's very cute. Teaching middle school, it's so different from high school. This is my first year at the middle school, but yeah, they always bring me random stuff. So I've packed up my desk for the night and we're gonna head home. And yeah, it's 2:32, so that concludes my day as a home ec teacher, and I'll be back at it again tomorrow. My makeup is all a mess. Look at that.